The Commission on Judicial Appointments is now in session. The Honorable Patricia Guerrero presiding. You may be seated. Thank you.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the public hearing of the Commission on Judicial Appointments. As Chief Justice of California, I serve as chair of the commission. The other members of the commission are Attorney General Rob Bonta and Presiding Justice Manuel Ramirez.
Good morning, Chief.
Good morning. And Janelle Baker serves as secretary to the commission. This hearing is to consider Governor Gavin Newsom's appointment of Judge Corey Lee to the office of Associate Justice for the Fourth District Court of Appeal, Division 2. The commission is in receipt of a letter from Governor Newsom appointing Judge Lee to fill a vacancy that was created by the retirement of Justice Marcia Slough. The state constitution specifies that an appointment by the governor to the Court of Appeal is effective when confirmed by the Commission on Judicial Appointments. The commission received correspondence pertaining to this appointment, and we made these letters available to the public a few days ago. Pursuant to a request by Governor Newsom, the State Bar's Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluation has undertaken an evaluation of the qualifications of Judge Lee for this position. Ms. Lorena Peñalosa, chair of that commission, is present with us here and will present the results of the evaluation later in the proceedings. Judge Lee has asked the following persons to be called to testify on her behalf. I will list all of you now and then call on each speaker separately to come up to the podium. The Honorable Michael Raphael, Associate Justice for the Fourth District Court of Appeal, Division 2, welcome. The Honorable Lisa Rogan, Presiding Judge of the San Bernardino Superior Court, welcome. And Ms. Lauren, is it Nala? Ms. Lauren Nala, who's a friend. Thank you. We now invite Justice Raphael to the podium.
Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Presiding Justice Ramirez, it is my privilege to speak today on behalf of the nomination of Judge Corey Lee to the Court of Appeal. Governor Newsom has made a great choice for California and for my district. Let's discuss her experience. She's been on the Superior Court for 10 years and a lot of assignments during that time, including presiding over that court's appellate division and serving as a pro tempore justice on the Court of Appeal. Before that, she was a DA in Riverside County and San Bernardino County, and she was an AUSA for 7 years. Before that, she developed expertise in immigration law at the Federal Department of Justice. Before that, she was an honors graduate from Loyola Law School. On top of all that legal experience, with her martial arts black belt, we get an extra court security officer in the bargain. So she didn't go straight to law school like most of us did. And if you look at her resume and look at all those things she did between the University of Pennsylvania and Loyola Law School, you'll see a through line of a young person. You'll see that in her master's degree from Columbia University in social services and in her, for example, among other things, work with families of murder victims. You're not going to see someone with one of those genes that makes them want to earn a lot of money. You'll see someone who is interested from a young age in wanting to serve the public and see that justice is done. That's what drives us as judges, all the good judges anyway, and that's what we do. Now, I first met Corey Lee when she came to the U.S. Attorney's Office. I was the chief of the appeals division then, and in that role, I was kind of in contact with everyone in the office because AUSAs generally do their own appeals, and they come to the appellate chief with legal questions. I was doing the training for the new AUSAs. She started with lots and lots of highly credentialed attorneys. We hired really great people at that time, incredible credentials. But even among that group of stellar attorneys, she was a star from the start. And she became a supervisor in the U.S. Attorney's Office faster than almost anyone ever does, faster than I did. Everyone recognized her worth from the start there. If I were hiring someone from the U.S. Attorney's Office, I would want to ask about who they are, not just to their supervisors, but to their peers. And I know all of her supervisors and her peers from that time. I've talked to a bunch of them during this last few months, leading up to this hearing. Everyone loves Corey Lee. She's going to be a great colleague. She's going to be great to work with. That is a quality that is underrated in appellate justice because we serve in panels of 3. Someone who works well with others in the job is not just makes our lives happy, but is a benefit to the public because it makes the court work better and it makes all of our work better. I urge you to confirm her for the Court of Appeal. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Justice Rojo. We appreciate your insight and the comments about her extensive qualifications and experience. Thank you. We now invite to the podium Presiding Judge Rogan.
Thank you, and good morning, Chief Justice, Justice Ramirez,
Good morning.
and Attorney General Bonda. I'm going to speak about my experience with Judge Lee on the bench. I am honored to have this opportunity to share some of my experiences. And while I prepared to come before you to talk about why the governor got this right, I wanted to make it meaningful. And meaningful is character, courage, and empathy of a bench officer. And in describing those things, it's easy for us to be courageous in times of ease. It's easy for us to be empathetic in times of ease. But there are 2 distinct experiences that I shared with Judge Lee on the bench. A little sensitive, so I hope you give me a little grace here. The first coming, I met her in 2016 when she was first appointed to the bench. I was a supervising judge in Victorville. And to give you a little setting, the Victorville court can be somewhat of a pressure cooker. It's small and undersized for the population and the caseload. But Judge Lee came to us, and early on, she came to me with an experience that she had endured as a judge, where defendants attacked her racially. And while we are in the community and going about our daily lives, coming from a background of diversity, you learn to live with those things. But as you take the bench of a judicial officer, especially a new one, you don't expect in a setting of a courtroom with such decorum to be attacked racially. But I will tell you that Judge Lee handled that with such grace and such decorum, and she did it in a way that did not affect how she handled the case before her, how she responded to those defendants, but with the courageousness and the empathy, because she knew she had to get the decision right. No matter what attack came before her, it was about the law and it was about applying the facts of that case and getting it right. The second incident came, which was much more touching to me as a supervising judge, was with another judicial officer. And the 2 of them came to my chambers with a disagreement between them that they hoped that I could help them resolve. And Judge Lee, in her advocacy, as she was presenting her case, raised her finger to make a point. But to the other judge, who was a judge of color, it was an offensive gesture. And she immediately let Judge Lee know that the gesture was very offensive to her in that moment. And while anyone of ordinary circumstances could take offense to that and be defensive, Judge Lee immediately showed remorse, and beyond that, asked for forgiveness, and then asked that other judicial officer if she could embrace her. I'm going to tell you, as a person looking on and being a spectator in that moment, it was difficult because the tensions were high, and I knew what Judge Lee had already endured with the defendants, and then here she was, first being a victim, and then really an innocent offender because she wasn't and didn't realize the cultural offensiveness of what that meant to that judicial officer. Courage, empathy, and character is what we expect of our judicial officers. I can tell you from that moment, it didn't matter what the disagreement was beyond that, but in that moment, what she showed to that judge fostered lasting collegial trust. Before I came here today to talk about Judge Lee and what she meant to our bench, which is everything, and I can tell you, many will come before you with the necessary legal acumen. I don't think anybody will come before you that doesn't have that. But what she has is the courageousness, the compassion to be a judicial officer, to look beyond the difficult moment, to deal with very stressful incidents in difficult times. And before I came here, that judge called me and she said, "Lisa, how is Judge Lee doing?" I said, "Oh, she's doing well." She said, "She is my dear friend ever since that one moment in your chambers." She said, "I will always trust her implicitly and I love her as a colleague." To have someone take such a racially charged moment in difficult circumstances and to respond with a heart speaks to Judge Lee. I feel so confident in having her at the appellate level because I know what she brings to the bench. It doesn't matter about the legal acumen, it matters about the person. And for that, she has all of my support, the support of the entire San Bernardino bench. And I am just so honored to be able to speak on her behalf and tell you about the person behind the application. She's a wonderful person and you cannot go wrong with Judge Lee. So thank you so much for allowing me to share those words.
Thank you, Presiding Judge Rogan. We appreciate you sharing the views. I'm sure you speak on behalf of your entire bench, and you've done it so well here today, representing the character of Judge Lee, so we appreciate that.
Thank you.
The commission next invites to the podium Ms. Nala.
Wow, just want to say that brought tears to my eyes. Thank you for that. Thank you, and good morning.
Morning.
It's an absolute joy and honor to be here today to speak about my childhood friend, the Honorable Corey Lee, and to state my strong support of her elevation to the Fourth District Court of Appeal. I've known Judge Lee as G, that's her middle name, and for whom most of you know as Corey, for over 4 decades. I met G when I was 10 years old, and she was in the 4th grade, and G was in the 5th, at Lakeview Elementary School in Santa Fe Springs, California. The teachers introduced us and assumed we'd get along because we were Asian, as if that alone was a recipe for friendship. G was born in Korea, and I was from Vietnam. Looking back, I know their intentions were well-meaning, and I'm grateful. For a young, first-generation immigrant navigating school, the experience can be scary, especially when you visibly stand out from your classmates, your accent, your clothes, and so on. They couldn't have known they were introducing me to someone who would become a lifelong friend. We were just kids in junior high when G had her first encounter with a police officer. She was walking to school like any other morning when he stopped her for jaywalking. But it didn't end there. He insisted on taking her to her parents, and when she challenged him and refused to get in the car, he followed her all the way to school. All she wanted was to get to class. But by the time I saw her that day, she was shaken to her core. Scared, confused, and trying to hold it together. We both broke down in tears, not just because of what happened, but because deep down, we knew why it had happened. G stood out from most of the kids in our neighborhood. Growing up, we often faced the sting of discrimination. The neighborhood kids would mock us with insulting comments and ching-chong noises, reducing our heritage to a punchline. Most of us learned to keep our heads down, to swallow the hurt and pretend it didn't matter. But not G. There was a time when she confronted a boy who had been taunting us around the schoolyard. She pushed back, not just against him, but against the idea that we didn't belong. G was fierce, fearless. She stood up not only for herself, but for all of us, for her friends, her family, and for the dignity we were often denied. Recently, her husband, Mike, shared a story about G, which depicts how independent and relentless she is. One day, she found herself locked out of their apartment. No keys, no way in, and no time to waste. Most people would have called for help or waited it out. Not her. With the kind of boldness that's in her character, she climbed down from a neighbor's balcony, carefully maneuvering her way toward her own, and she jumped, landing safely back inside her home. The moment wasn't just about getting back in. It was a reflection of who she is, someone who meets challenges head on. She refuses to take the easy way out, and who turns obstacles into stories of courage. There's so much I can say about G, but it would be incomplete without honoring the incredible woman who helped shape her, G's mom. G's mom came to this country from Korea with little more than hope and grit, building a life from the ground up. She didn't just support G's academic journey, she shaped it. Her resilience, quiet wisdom, and unwavering belief in her daughter's potential, paired with her deep commitment to her daughter's future, became the foundation of G's ambition and the source of her enduring resilience. G's success is a reflection of her mother's courage, love, and extraordinary devotion. Thank you for the opportunity for me to speak with you today.
Thank you, Ms. Nala. We really appreciate, especially somebody who knows so much about the character of the candidate who's before us. I think we should always have a childhood friend to appear and testify. Thank you.
Thank you.
The commission now invites the chair of the Judicial Nominees Evaluation Commission, Ms. Lorena Peñalosa, for the report of the evaluation conducted by her commission.
Thank you. I think I keep following tall people. I don't know what's happening. Good morning, Chief Justice Guerrero, Attorney General Bonta, Presiding Justice Ramirez. I am honored to present this report on behalf of the Commission on Judicial Nominees Evaluation to summarize the basis of the Commission's rating of Judge Corey Lee for the Office of Associate Justice, the Court of Appeal, Fourth Appellate District, Division 2. The Jenny Commission conducted its evaluation of Judge Corey Lee in October 2023, unanimously finding her to be exceptionally well qualified for service on the Fourth District Court of Appeal. According to the Commission rules, that rating reflects the Commission's determination that Judge Lee possesses qualities and attributes of remarkable or extraordinary superiority that enable her to perform the appellate judicial function with distinction and is exceptionally well qualified. Born in South Korea, Judge Corey Lee immigrated to the United States as a child and was raised by her mother, who worked tirelessly in factories and restaurants. Growing up, Judge Lee helped care for her sisters and worked weekends and summers for the family business. Her mother emphasized the value of education as a path toward better opportunities. Driven by this guidance, Judge Lee earned scholarships to a private high school and to the University of Pennsylvania. Her volunteer work during college as a court liaison for families of murder victims sparked her interest in law and social work, leading to an MS from Columbia University and her work as a Presidential Management Fellow at the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Management and Budget. Before enrolling at Loyola Law School in 2000, Judge Lee spent a year teaching English in Japan. And during that time, she also obtained a black belt in Aikido, a martial art she had been studying since 1993. In law school, she participated in moot court and law review while gaining experience as a certified law clerk at the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office, as an extern for a magistrate judge, and at an immigration pro bono clinic. She received her JD in 2003 and was admitted to the bar later that year. After law school, Judge Lee clerked for the U.S. Department of Justice Executive Office of Immigration Review, writing memoranda and decisions for 26 immigration judges. She then served as a prosecutor at the Riverside County and San Bernardino County District Attorney's offices, trying 21 serious criminal cases. In 2008, she became an assistant U.S. attorney for the Central District of California, prosecuting complex crimes including tax fraud and prison assault cases. Promoted to deputy chief in 2012, she supervised line assistant U.S. attorneys, managed her own cases, and argued 3 times before the Ninth Circuit Court of Appeals. Judge Lee was appointed as a judge of the San Bernardino County Superior Court in 2015 and has held a wide range of assignments, including felony and misdemeanor trials, preliminary hearings, adult mental health court, law in motion, juvenile delinquency, and appeals. While in the appellate division, she rendered decisions and wrote opinions on traffic, unlawful detainer, and misdemeanor criminal matters, and served as its presiding judge for 2 years. Since February 23, she has handled an unlimited civil calendar assignment and served on various court committees, including community outreach and elimination of bias. Judge Lee serves on her local Judicial Appointment Selection Committee, is a board member and 4th District representative of the California Asian Pacific and American Judges Association, and is on the Policy Committee of the California Judges Association. Judge Lee is a well-respected Superior Court judge with a breadth and depth of experience in various areas of the law. She expressed her strong commitment to serving the public fairly and justly, and her desire to continue that service in this new role. As Jenny Commission Chair, it is my honor and privilege to appear here, the Commission hearing of Judge Corey Lee, on this day at 10 a.m. to testify to the Commission's evaluation. Thank you.
Thank you for your thorough report and the work of your commission. We really appreciate it. Thank you. We now invite to the podium Judge Lee to present a statement if you wish and to answer any questions the commission may have.
Thank you. Thank you so much for lowering this. I didn't know you could lower it. Chief Justice Guerrero, Presiding Justice Ramirez, and also Attorney General Bonta. I feel so privileged and honored and humbled to be here standing before you today. And I am also very humbled and for all the nice words. Thank you so much. There is a concept called imposter syndrome that is very common these days, and I can personally confirm that I feel that this morning. Every time I feel down about myself, I'll be sure to listen to the recording of this hearing over and over again, the testimony part anyways. But thank you. I do truly appreciate the kind words, not only by the witnesses here today, but also the support letters, the kind words and the support letters that are before the commission today. And without further ado, I submit on the record and the testimonies, and I am ready to answer any questions.
Thank you, Judge Lee. Attorney General Bonta.
Thank you. An honor to be here with you today. And this is a little bit of an open-ended question, so I apologize in advance, but I just really moved by your immigrant experience and being coming to this country and then becoming naturalized in college, and just curious how that experience may have shaped your worldview, any reflections that you have on the immigration system today. And then also, of all the things that you could have done in the law, like obviously you picked service, and you also chose criminal prosecution in a DA's office and a U.S. Attorney's office. Just any thoughts behind why that was your area of focus and choice? So take any parts of that. I know it's a broad question, but I'm just really moved by your experience and your life experiences, and just any reflections you'd like to share.
Sure, thank you. I'll try to answer all of it. My mind is kind of discombobulated, but as far as my immigration experience is concerned, I did come here at the age of around 9, and I did experience a lot of the hardships that my friend Na mentioned, and through all of that, I think my experience, and my parents, my mom, she worked so hard, and we did have to learn English, we had to learn a new culture, everything. So to grow up in that context and meeting other people, I think I really understood what it's like to come to this country for a better opportunity. Surely my mom did. She wanted to create an opportunity for me, and she did, because she didn't have those opportunities in Korea. And finally, getting my naturalization while I was in college, it was amazing. I was finally a citizen, and my mom wasn't a citizen then, so I encouraged her to become a citizen. And then she took the test off the yellow pages in the back of the Korean phone books. They have the questions ready for you, and you can study them and pass your citizenship test. So, and that was amazing, because I had to go to a court in Philadelphia at the time, and got my citizenship there. And I finally felt like I belonged and I could vote. So that was amazing. And thereafter, because of my immigration experience, I became very interested in immigration. So I did the pro bono work, and I also worked in the immigration courts, just really delving into a variety of issues of immigration. And I honestly feel today, people come here to this country for opportunities. I have a lot of my friends from college whose parents, or they're also first generation, came to this country and took advantage of the opportunities. It means a lot. And just the whole issue of immigration is very important to me. As far as choosing criminal prosecution, I would say a couple of, I did work for the families of murder victims as a court liaison, as a volunteer, and I think that was one of the influences for that, because I went to court all the time with the families, and I saw how the law impacted them, and I saw the attorneys really caring for the victims and fighting for their cause in court, and that really impressed upon me. When I was in social work school, I also worked for Sarah Burke House, which is a confidential domestic violence shelter in New York. And there, this was in the mid-90s, and the topic of domestic violence was not very well taken. It was a topic that was kept at home. You didn't really discuss it in the courts, but I saw the attorneys there really fighting for these women, these victims of domestic violence, and they really brought it forth in the judiciary. So that's what influenced me to go into criminal prosecution.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Presiding Judge Ramirez?
Thank you, Chief. Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I assume you have family members and friends in the audience area. Your husband. Congratulations to him. I see your mother to his right, if that's correct. Good morning. Welcome. In this notebook that I have reviewed, nowhere in the notebook does it mention your sense of humor. So it was nice to see you demonstrate a sense of humor. Difficult to do given the anxiety and the stress of the moment. So very nice to see that part of your personality. It is an important part of anyone's personality, maybe more so on the Court of Appeal. My colleague, Justice Raphael, said that with that background of yours in martial arts, black belt, et cetera, that the Court of Appeal would be inheriting an additional security officer. Well, I beg to differ. Perhaps we should look at how you're going to handle your concurrences and dissents. I would not be a match for you in black belt or strong arm wrestling, nor would any of my colleagues be a match for you. And I know that personally. But how would you handle a concurrence or a dissent? You have any idea of how you would either attempt to resolve a case or consider a concurrence or consider a dissent?
So I haven't done Aikido in a long time. And I'm almost 54 now, so my body's kind of weakening. I did join Jiu-Jitsu, the women's empowerment, not too long ago. I'm the oldest one in the class, but I work with high school kids, older women. But one of the philosophies in Aikido, and I believe also in Jiu-Jitsu, is to work in harmony, even through dissent. You have to be collegial, you have to respect, and you have to really understand your partner that you're working with, and not only their physical movements, but also what they may be thinking. And you have to work with that, and you have to turn that around, and you work through that conflict and come to a resolution in a harmonious way. So that's what I hope to transfer, to work with you, hopefully, and Justice Raphael, and all the other justices in the division. If there's a disagreement, I hope to be able to discuss with you, learn from you, and understand myself what is going on, and have a great discussion on the law and come to some sort of an agreement. That's what I hope to do.
Thank you very much. And I now know that you will do it with a generous smile and a generous spirit of your heart. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
I am always excited when I see Judge Rogan before this commission, and she's appeared a number of times before this commission. She mentioned, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, the qualities of character and meaning and empathy as something that you possess or you've had to endure in your life, and we know you've had to endure much. The only aspect of that I would add to, she's not wrong, she's correct, but I would add to is your faithfulness to the oath of office, which is really the probably the most important quality that any judge or constitutional officer can have. And I read with great interest Judge Wynn's letter, a recommendation about you last night. And I've known him for many, many years, and he comes to this country with a remarkable background, just as you have, and knowing country that just wasn't stable. And in the end, he indicated that the same qualities that Judge Rogan indicated, but he added the oath of office and the importance of the oath of office to a constitutional officer. And I have every reassurance, having read this, that that is high, if not the highest point on your list. And I'm comfortable with that. And then finally, for your mother, I ran into her in the hallway to welcome her and to congratulate her on your success, Judge Lee. And that's the last time I'll use that title, Judge Lee. And she just beamed. And she beamed only like a mother can beam for her daughter, and the happiness and the joy and the deep love. It was so obvious. She just radiated all of that. And the two of you have had to endure many, many hardships, but you have endured the two of them together. So how special for you that she is your mother, how special for your mother that you are her daughter.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you, Presiding Judge, Justice Ramirez. I don't know why I said that, Judge. Sorry.
I've been called worse.
Judge Lee, first, congratulations to you and your family. It's really an honor to be here to share this experience with you. I also read with interest your application, and there's so much to cover, but I would just highlight what you had indicated in your submission about the importance, why you want to be a justice and what you seek to accomplish. And you indicated in there that your goal is to administer justice in a fair and impartial way. And so I'm wondering, given the diverse experience that you've had as a judge, you've practiced in several different areas, and given your personal experience, how do you think you'll make that transition to be able to fairly and impartially administer justice on the Court of Appeal, which is a little bit different? As a trial court judge, you just have to persuade yourself, but now you'll hopefully persuade two other of your colleagues. So I'm just wondering how your personal background and experience and your professional experience as a trial court judge will help to navigate any challenges that are involved with the transition to working on the Court of Appeal.
Thank you. Well, the trial court roles are different than Court of Appeals, certainly. And one of the things that I noticed is that going through various areas of law as a judge, but also through my experiences, the common ground for all of it is really due process. And whether it's civil, family, criminal, the core issue that I noticed for the Court of Appeals, even though I have a limited experience, 6 months pro temping, is that due process is the issue. And that's the issue I think that's going to bring all of us together. And I hope to bring not only my experiences, but also personally, but also my experience as a trial judge for 10 years, where, and I know the other justices also have their experience in the trial courts as well, but I hope to also give my input in terms of reading the context of what happens in trial courts, because oftentimes Court of Appeals, you can't really tell what's going on. You can read the transcript, but even then it's kind of difficult to figure out what is really going on unless you've had that trial experience and you've gone through trial and have had a lot of hearings and dealing with litigants. So what I hope to bring is that sense of reality, so to speak, in some ways, and be able to contribute in that way, because I think one of the main clients for Court of Appeal is, you have the litigants for sure, but I think one of the main clients is the trial judges as well. And the trial judges, there's a different standard of review, and I think Justice Rashid Adams mentioned it in one of her speeches. You have the standard of review, and it's there for a purpose. And I really hope to look at that standard of review, give input, or actually look at the experiences that I've had as a trial judge and be able to marry those together, and not only look at things in an ideal manner, but also really look at the practical aspects and give the appropriate deference to the trial judges. And I think that in and of itself translates in some ways to fairness and equity, because we need to understand what trial judges are doing in order to direct what they're doing.
Thank you. I have no doubt that that experience will serve you well. Thank you for your answer.
Thank you.
This completes the list of witnesses who are testifying here today. Are the members of the commission prepared to vote?
Yes.
I am.
Okay, all in favor of confirming Judge Corey Lee for this position, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay, on this record and the correspondence received, the commission finds Judge Corey Lee qualified to serve as Associate Justice for the Fourth District Court of Appeal, Division 2, and we confirm her appointment. Congratulations, Justice Lee.
Thank you.
This concludes the formal portion of the hearings, and so that portion is adjourned. However, Justice Lee has asked me to administer her oath, and you're all welcome here in a few minutes. And so we'll prepare paperwork, but then we'll reconvene here. Thank you. Everyone's ready? Okay, start your cameras. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I state your name.
I, Corey Lee,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support and defend
that I will support and defend
the Constitution of the United States
the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California
and the Constitution of the State of California
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
against all enemies, foreign and domestic,
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
that I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the Constitution of the United States
to the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of California,
and the Constitution of the State of California,
that I take this obligation freely
that I take this obligation freely
without any mental reservation
without any mental reservation
or purpose of evasion,
or purpose of evasion,
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
and that I will well and faithfully discharge
the duties upon which I'm about to enter.
the duties upon which I am about to enter.
Congratulations.
So my closing remarks, I just really want to thank people who are here today and the people who have really supported me throughout the process. It does take a village, for sure. So I'm going to start by thanking Governor Newsom for this extraordinary opportunity, and also Judicial Appointment Secretary Luis Cespedes, Deputy Secretary Adam Hoffman, and Deputy Debbie Kuhn for their efforts on my behalf. And thank you for those who made this short hearing possible, and that's including, organizing, planning, working through the logistics, the Attorney General's Office for their work in preparing the reports in this hearing, COJA Secretary Janelle Baker, Fourth DCA CEO Brendan Henson, the CHP team and the lead officer, Brian Hatcher, who I understand used to be in San Bernardino. Thank you for making this hearing possible. First and foremost, my family, my mom, Grace Lee. I feel like everyone already knows her by now. I owe you my life, Mom. Thank you for everything you've done and for who you are. My husband, Michael Valentino, he's a dedicated public school teacher for over 25 years in both LA County and Riverside County. He stood by me over 30 years through thick and thin. Thank you. The speakers today, they basically risked their lives by flying all the way out here, along with my friends back there. And this was amidst the rain, the shutdown woes, to speak before the commission on my behalf. Justice Michael Raphael for testifying on my behalf and really talking to the U.S. Attorney's Office to try and get good comments for me. I really appreciate that. I know one of them, I'm going to mention this, said that I was the best in Riverside, but he's told you not to mention it because Jerry Yang is here. I've known Justice Raphael since, or at least known of him back then, since his days as the chief of the appellate section in the U.S. Attorney's Office. He is brilliant and compassionate. Whether you like it or not, I'm designating you as my mentor. Presiding judge of San Bernardino Superior Court, Lisa Rogan. She has supported me over the last 10 years as a judge and as a Court of Appeals applicant. Her career has been remarkable. She was a former deputy sheriff, police sergeant, and deputy DA, judge, and now presiding judge. Just remarkable. And she's been working really hard as presiding judge to have San Bernardino Superior Court, one of top 5 largest counties by population in California out of 58 counties, and the largest by size, recognized for all of the hard work by its 100 plus bench officers. Thank you for all your hard work and dedication. Lauren Law, my dear friend of nearly 45 years. I know, time flies. She is an amazing person. She and her family escaped from Vietnam during the fall of Saigon. And through all the hardships, it is amazing that she is the person that she is today. Thank you for coming out and speaking on my behalf and remembering our childhood fondly. Thank you. Jenny Commission Chair Lorena Peñalosa, thank you very much for coming out all the way from Riverside, right? To testify on behalf of the Jenny Commission. And of course, I want to thank the Jenny Commissioners who were assigned to evaluate my application for this position and their hard work done on my behalf. That was Francesca Serrano, Matthew Barnacchia, and the lead commissioner, I. Mori, who is now a San Francisco Superior Court judge. Special thanks to those who submitted letters on my behalf and gave me the support and advice for me to have the confidence to go through this process. Judge Glenn Yabuno and Judge Michael Sachs, both former presiding judges of the San Bernardino Superior Court, who also worked tirelessly to promote San Bernardino Superior Court. Thank you very much for supporting me. Judge Michael Dauber of San Bernardino County, who I met 20 years ago. I met you 20 years ago at the Riverside DA's office. I knew him as one of the best trial attorneys, okay? And now he's my colleague. So thank you for being here. Judge Jerry Yang of Riverside County and his wife, Helen Yang of Los Angeles County, who are here today with their beautiful daughter, Haley. Okay. Your support and your being here today means a lot to me. I know I forced you to write that support letter, but thank you anyways. Retired Judge John Nguyen. He escaped from Vietnam during the fall of Saigon and helped hundreds of refugees in Southern California. He helped them resettle. He later became the first Vietnamese American judge in Orange County. Judge Nguyen was the one who initially pushed me to apply for this position, even though I kept on telling him, I need more experience, I need more experience. So thank you for your support. Judge Jane Lee of San Joaquin County and Judge Terry Trong from Los Angeles County for the letter on behalf of CAPAJA, the California Asian Pacific Judges Association, and of course their guidance, advice, and support. and retired Judge Bridget McCann of San Bernardino County. I know she's watching live stream right now in Pennsylvania because she's retired. She couldn't fly out here because of all the flight issues, but thank you for your enthusiastic support, even though I know you're heckling me right now. I just know it. And retired immigration judge Isabel Bronzina, who is also watching live stream. Since the beginning of my legal career, she's been a constant support and encouragement. I've always admired her for her tenacity, resilience, kindness, and her deep understanding of immigrants who come to this country to create better lives for themselves and their families. And speaking of Kapaja, thank you, Justices Tracy Brown, Karen Fujisake, and Danny Cho for being here today to support and on behalf of Kapaja, thank you very much. San Bernardino Superior Court bench officers and staff, thank you, all of you, for the work that you put in every day to ensure justice and for being such great colleagues. I want to especially thank my current judicial assistant, Amber Gear, and court attendant, Greg Trihart. And I want to thank Annabelle Romero, the CEO of San Bernardino County. Brittany Cabrera, is she here today? Well, thank you. I think they're both here today. I do see Annabelle. Justices in the second division, thank you also for readily welcoming me from the beginning. I look forward to working with all of you. And special thanks to Justice Richard Fields for his support. And I would be remiss not to mention retired Justice Marcia Slough, who I admire deeply for her wisdom and strength. Justice McConnell, the administrative presiding judge of the Fourth District, who welcomed me from day one. And thank you to the justices in the Second District, Fifth Division, Los Angeles, Justice Lamar Baker, Dorothy Kim, and Carl Moore. I learned so much from them during my pro temship, and they guided me and supported me throughout. Got to add a special thanks to Julia Trice, who's the research attorney. Special thanks to Justice Dorothy Kim, who has been a constant source of support and advice since my judicial career began, and I'm almost done. Of course, my college friends of about 30 years, a lot of them are here today. We call them the Penn Gang, and their family, Sally Munimitsu, David Kim, spouse Alyssa Yang, Alberta Chang, son Connor, Dr. Jerry Lin, his wife Joy, and daughter Remy, Dr. Suzanne Chun, and fiance Reed Ito. Please tell me when your wedding date's gonna be. Some flew out here from New Hampshire, Maryland, and Washington to be here today. And of course, Janet Hasagawa, Jessica Graham, longtime friends from the Riverside DA's office. And Jessica's husband, Matt, thank you all for being here. And also Tim Condit, he's here also today, King with Na. And I really thank you, and especially my friends from Penn. Thank you so much for not heckling me. I really appreciate that. And thank you everyone for attending. I don't think it's raining, so I do have a small reception on a patio at the Art Museum across the street. So please come by, and if you don't have time, please take some food. We have to-go boxes. And there's some drinks too. So thank you very much.